Good evening, everybody. It is time for Border Wars Championship Edition here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We have had a fun day live streaming basketball games, day 2 of the Border Wars. We've got a good one tonight in the championship bracket semifinals. We've got Edgewood taking on the Glenwood Lady Gators here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. The Edgewood Wildcats taking on the Gators here on the campus of Glenwood as the PA announcer is naming the starting lineup. We'll give you the starting lineup here for Edgewood coming in this game 16-2 after defeating Calvary Christian 59-49. They're taking on a Glenwood Lady Gators team that defeated Southland Academy 62-40. So here are the starters for the Wildcats. You got Avery White. You got Madison Martin. Lindsey Brown, who's averaging 25 points a game, got her 2,000th career point yesterday against Calvary. Elizabeth Ellis and Lexi Smith. For the home team, the Lady Gators, they are in their traditional home uniforms. You got Anna Grace Griggs. You got Haley Palmore, Olivia Slocum, Tequila Davis, and Clara Crisco. Get ready for some championship action. The winner will face Lee Scott Academy in the championship game tomorrow for the Border Wars right here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. I'm Richard Holdridge here on the broadcast. The Lady Gators 12-5 on the season as we get ready to tip it off here at the pit. We do have a doubleheader action after this game. We've got the Gators. They're taking on Southland Academy. It's Border Wars. It's day 2. It's Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Getting ready to tip it is Anna Grace Griggs and Madison Martin as Edgewood does get the tip. Madison Martin, easy bucket all the way to the rack. That was just right to her. Edgewood with the early 2-0 lead. Here comes Edgewood with the full court press over to Slocum. Long pass is stolen by Lindsey Brown. Brown trying to go coast to coast, puts up a shot. It goes in, count the bucket, and Lindsey Brown will go to the line for the N1. So Edgewood off to a hot start here in this game, already up 4-0. Edgewood is led by their head coach, Brad Starks. Glenwood is led by their head coach, Dusty Perdue. It is 3-0 here. Another steal. Back out to Brown, 5-0. Had to make sure to change that scoreboard. And that's going to be a traveling violation on Lexi Smith. Edgewood getting off to a hot start. There's a team in the AISA in AA. Glenwood did defeat Edgewood Academy to start the season 56-30. That was way back on November the 10th, very early on in the season. That pass was intended for Crisco, trying to save it, goes out of bounds, and it'll go back to Edgewood. The Edgewood Wildcats, perfect season last year, state champions in the AISA. Glenwood runners-up to Clark Prep in their respective championship. Lexi Smith almost lost it. We're going to get another turnover. It's going to go back to the Lady Gators. So Glenwood beat Southland 62-40 yesterday, led by Anna Grace Griggs with 16 points. Olivia Slocum had 13. Haley Palmore with 14. Back over to Palmore. Palmore driving the lane. Tequila Davis right to the basket and in. Feed your post player. Get the easy bucket. It's 5-2. Here comes Brooke. Lindsey Brown. Brown. Ellis winning it around. Avery White. Good defense by Griggs. White back over to Brown, splitting the double a team, and we're going to get a foul on the floor. It will be the second team foul for the Lady Gators. Back over to White, being guarded by Griggs. White driving that baseline, quick double team. Ellis tied up, jump ball. Possession arrow goes to Glenwood. Winner of this game will take on Lee Scott Academy in the championship tomorrow. Loser of this game will play in the third place game as Brown, and putting up a shot is Lexi Smith, and we're going to get another foul. So the game before this game, we had just a back and forth game. Abbeville defeated Edgewood 57-56. Abbeville will play Lee Scott Academy in the Constellation Championship. Edgewood is going to play in the 7th place game against Calvary Christian tomorrow at 10:30. And you can catch that game on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Before that, Southland Academy, a 1-point victory over Calvary Christian girls. And Southland Academy will take on Autauga Academy in the 7th place game. There's Brown driving pass to Kayla Davis, but a big block by Davis. Lindsey Brown was trying to go around Davis, and Davis said, not so fast. I like that matchup between Davis and Madison Martin. You got two post players, both offensively with the skills, with the block shots, the length. They're able to create offense, but I like the defensive matchup too. Just see them going up together. Here comes Lindsey Brown, guarded by Palmore. Screen by Madison Martin, and it is going to be stolen by Glenwood. Palmore trying to run the floor. Mimi Johnson into the game for Glenwood, and that's going to be a foul. You know, the referee blew the whistle a little bit late, but it's going to be a shooting foul. Haley Palmore is going to go to the line for 2. 5:24 here left to go here in the first. 5-2, early lead for Edgewood here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Richard Holridge here on the broadcast. Please like and share this Facebook video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've had a total of 3 games so far. This is the 3rd game that we have done out of 4. Palmore makes them both. And it is 5-4. Glenwood saw themselves down 5-0 early, but they have scored the last 4. There's a 3-pointer by Brown, no good, and it's rebounded by Mimi Johnson. Johnson almost had her pocket picked. But that's the one thing, is Lindsey Brown is not afraid to shoot that 3. As a traveling violation on Glenwood, and it's going to go back to Edgewood out of Elmore, Alabama. That is just outside of Montgomery. They are in the AISA Class 2 and the defending champions. Undefeated season last year. Lindsey Brown, the leading scorer, 25 points. Brown trying to split the double team, and Takayla Davis with another block, but they're going to get her with a foul. Lindsey Brown tried to drive the lane, and right there, Takayla Davis, her defensive presence has been known down there in the post. They're going to make Brown earn it from the charity stripe. She makes the first. Brown makes them both. It's 7-4. Edgewood on top. Palmore over to Johnson. Too far. Turnover going back to Edgewood. So in the 3rd place game, the loser of this game will play in the 3rd place game, which will be at noon tomorrow against Abbeville Christian, who lost earlier to Lee Scott Academy in the winners bracket. Lee Scott Academy advances to the championship on the girls' side. Staying with Edgewood. Brown inbounding it. Looking for Martin. Passes to Martin. Back to Brown. Driving the baseline. And Brown goes up for a shot. She'll be fouled in the motion of shooting. Or are they going to say it's not a shooting foul? They're calling it a non-shooting foul. It was on the floor. Brown will inbounds it. Trying to find Lexi Smith. Smith driving the lane. Puts up a shot. Up and in. Good play on the inbounds, and then there's almost a turnover. Fighting for it. We get a jump ball. See where the possession arrow is going. It's going to stay here with Edgewood. Edgewood with the early 9-4 lead. Brown is going to try to drive the lane. Brown being guarded heavily, and we're going to get another foul on the floor. That is going to put Edgewood in the bonus with 3:56 left to go here in the first. Already 5 team fouls for Glenwood. And Lindsey Brown is going to go to the line for 2. She misses the first. So Lindsey Brown had a milestone in her high school career yesterday. It was a great moment. Her 2,000th career point against Calvary Christian. They stopped the game to recognize the accomplishment, and we made sure to give her recognition as well here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. She does make 1 of 2. Over to Griggs, back to Davis. Davis looking for Brazil. She fights with it off the glass. No good. Takayla Davis getting a rebound. Blocked by Martin. Davis going up and another jump ball, but it's going to stay with Glenwood. Davis fighting for that rebound, but then Madison Martin coming up and getting the big block. Davis will inbounds it. Slocum had some big threes yesterday. Davis double team. Slocum fires a 3. No good. Brazil is right there, and it counts. Brazil with the shot and 1. Right there, and she has a chance for the 3-point play. Brazil makes it. It's 10-7. Edgewood on top. This is really going to be a chess match between 2 outstanding teams in the AISA. You got instant offense from Lindsey Brown, Madison Martin. But you also have the post play of Anna Grace Griggs and Takayla Davis, who is going to step up here in this winner's bracket. Oh, and Lindsey Brown, she just makes it look easy. She's got 8 points. It's 12-7. Lindsey Brown had 21 points yesterday against Calvary Christian. Oh, Brazil with a big shot, and it's 12-9. They're exchanging buckets here at Glenwood. 2:53 left to go. Lexi Smith driving the lane. Lexi Smith puts up a shot. No good. Rebounded by Takayla Davis. Davis over to Johnson. Johnson, quick double team. Hands off to Slocum. Slocum inside to Anna Grace Griggs. Puts it off the glass. Up and in. Anna Grace Griggs, her first bucket of the day. And Glenwood cuts the lead to 1. Here's Brown driving the lane. Up and in. Count the basket. And a fist pump from Lindsey Brown as she will go to the line for the and 1. We know where the offense is going to go through for Edgewood and Coach Starks. It's going to be your all-world player, Lindsey Brown, one of the top players in the AISA, averaging 25 points a game. And she makes the and 1. She's got 11 points already. It's 15-11, Edgewood on top. Yeah, yesterday against Calvary, Madison Martin, Lindsey Brown really were the story in that game. As Slocum thought about the 3, over to Griggs. Griggs puts up a shot, and that's up and in. Anna Grace Griggs patiently, she gets her shot because she is a post player that knows when to take the smart shots, and it cuts the Edgewood lead to 2. Timeout on the floor as Edgewood leads by 2, 1:57 left to go here in the first. We would like to thank our sponsors, Double Coverage, Sports Visions, State Farm, Carroll Purdue, Terry Johnson Agency, Mike and Ed's Barbecue, Superior Roofing, Columbus State University, Greg Ballard and Rocket, Happy Hour Bar and Grill, Master Wall Incorporated, and Behringer Construction. It has just been a fantastic day of day 2 of the Border Wars. It started earlier today with Lee Scott Academy defeating Calvary Christian 67-48 to advance to the Consolation Championship, where they will face Abbeville Christian. And then we had a break in the action. We had the Lee Scott girls defeat the Abbeville girls. And then we also had Deerfield Windsor defeat Autauga Academy 42-34. They advance to the championship, where they will face the winner of Southland Academy Glenwood later on tonight here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Lindsey Brown, she's got 11 points with her team up by 2. Being guarded by Slocum. Brown looking for the screen. Now Davis is on her. They do the switch. Brown fires a long three-pointer, no good. Rebounded by Mimi Johnson. And we're going to get a foul. That is going to be the 5th team foul. Glenwood is in the bonus. Mimi Johnson has a chance to tie it. This has been a back-and-forth game. Edgewood did take the early 5-0 lead, but Glenwood has been able to stay close with Edgewood. They've yet to take the lead. Johnson makes the first. But this is a patient Glenwood team led by Coach Purdue. Won state titles in 2022 and 2021. Came up just short in the championship game last year to Clark Prep. Hoping to get back this year. Misses the second. It's 15-14, Edgewood on top. Brown being guarded heavily. Trying to get past the defender right there. Shot off the glass, no good, but Martin is right there to clean up the board and the putback. Madison Martin with 4 points. There's a turnover. Costly turnover by Glenwood. It goes back to Edgewood. It looked like there for a second Elizabeth Ellis had a shot, but it's going to go back. Brown going to inbounds it. Her team up by 3. 1:13 left to go here in the first. A nice pass over to Avery White, and she draws the foul. She'll go to the line to shoot 2. Edgewood trying to advance to the Border Wars championship game tomorrow at 6 o'clock. We will have that game here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. The winner of this game will await Lee Scott Academy as they defeated Abbeville Christian earlier today. Smith makes the first. Avery White misses the second. Griggs with a rebound. Johnson, 4-point lead for Edgewood. Johnson running the floor. Back over to Emerson Wide, and she traveled. Traveling violation on Glenwood going back to Edgewood. Less than a minute to go. Edgewood trying to close out this quarter. Brown over to Smith. Smith back to Brown. 45 seconds. No shot clock in Alabama. Emerson White guarding her with the switch. Oh, and it's stolen by Takayla Davis. That pass was meant for Martin, but Davis was able to get it. Let's see if Glenwood will hold for the final shot. Mimi Johnson takes it across the timeline. Johnson looking for the screen from Griggs. Johnson loses the ball, and Brown steals it, goes all the way to the rack, and it's up and in. A costly turnover for Glenwood is an easy bucket for Lindsey Brown. And that is stolen by Brown again. Back-to-back steals, 11 seconds. Brown is just going to fire a three-pointer. She gets her own rebound. It just goes right to her. 3 seconds, 2. Pass. Ellis for 3. No good. That's how the first quarter ends. Edgewood leads the Glenwood Lady Gators 20-14 after 1. We would like to thank our sponsors, Double Coverage, Sports Vision, State Farm, Carroll Purdue, Terry Johnson Agency, Mike and Ed's Barbecue, Superior Roofing, Columbus State University, Rocket and Greg Ballard, Happy Hour Bar and Grill, Masterwall Incorporated, and Behringer Construction. We'll be back with the start of the second quarter right here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. It's Border Wars Day 2 championship matchup between Glenwood and Edgewood. Back at the Border Wars, Day 2. It's just been a very eventful day of nothing but basketball from these outstanding private schools from Georgia and from Alabama. I do want to give an update right now. Pacelli is taking on Oconee in their tournament. You had Hardaway get the 64-58 win over McIntosh in the LaGrange Toyota Classic earlier today. A big shout out to Coach Kendall Mills for updating that. Alexi Smith, Edgewood with a 4-point lead. Smith, nice contested shot, but Martin is with there, and that was just – Takayla Davis was trying to go for the block. The ref's going to call a foul. Not sure if that was in the motion of shooting. It wasn't. And Brown is going to inbounds it underneath the basket. Lindsey Brown's got 13 points for Edgewood. Avery White being guarded by Griggs. Oh, Griggs. And there's a steal by Haley Palmore. She disrupted the shot. Griggs gets it, puts it up, hits the floor, draws the foul. Griggs will go to the line for 2. It was blocking that shot. She was smart enough to block the shot, not draw the foul, but it disrupted the pass where Haley Palmore was able to steal it and go coast to coast. She put up a shot. Griggs went up for the shot and got fouled. That first foul shot is good by Anna Grace Griggs, the senior, the multi-sport athlete. She also plays volleyball and softball. She actually got a scholarship for softball. Will be going to college down in Florida. She misses the second, but it's rebounded by Takayla Davis. Puts it up and in. Takayla Davis cleaning up the board. A big offensive rebound. It's 20-17. Here comes Brown. Brown with the charge, just speeding up the floor. Trying to fight for his Takayla Davis. Back over a long pass, Slocum. Griggs catches it, but she traveled in the motion of catching it. The momentum carried her from getting too many steps. There was not a teammate to pass it to. Just that momentum. But there's a dive for it. They're just diving for loose balls. Brown, they got to find a way to stop Lindsey Brown. She's got 13 points. If you stop Lindsey Brown, you make the other teammates on Edgewood's team try to beat you. Brown looking for the screen, driving the lane, trying to catch her own pass. Draws the foul. Yeah, there was a little bit of contact, but that was a very close play. Yeah, Lindsey Brown has really been having herself a game today. 13 points. And that was just some miscommunication. Anna Grace Griggs, steal all the way to the rack, up and in. Easy bucket for Anna Grace Griggs. She's got 7. She's the leading scorer for the Glenwood Lady Gators. And Glenwood has cut it to 1. 6:29 left to go until halftime. Here comes a full court press for Glenwood. Brown up, draws the foul. She'll go to the line. Lindsey Brown, whenever you need a big bucket, she wants the ball in her hands. Actually, that's going to be a non-shooting foul. It wasn't in the motion of shooting. And that's very difficult to see from up here as they're fighting for, are we going to get a loose jump ball? Yep, that's a jump ball. Possession arrow goes to Glenwood. Glenwood is down by 1. They have a chance to take the lead with this possession. Over to Palmore. Long pass to Crisco, to Kayla Davis. Shot attempt, Palmore with the rebound, off the glass and in. Right place, right time, Haley Palmore. Glenwood with a 1-point lead. Here comes Lindsey Brown. She's just gonna fire up a 3. No good, rebounded by Griggs. Over to Crisco. Quickly, and Lindsey Brown just picked her pocket. She's just gonna go coast to coast. Easy bucket for Brown, she's got 15. And back and forth we go. Edgewood with the 1-point lead. Bounce pass to Slocum. That's going to go off of Glenwood back to Edgewood. Edgewood, an AISA team, AA, defending state champions, a perfect season last year, 27-0. Taking on the Glenwood Lady Gators, 3A, AISA runners-up. Just a battle of 2 heavyweights. Glenwood did win the opener 56-30. Going up, Madison Martin. He's going to stay here with Edgewood. Both teams playing hard. They really want that championship. As Palmore with the steal. Palmore all the way. Right there is Anna Grace Griggs in the basket. Anna Grace Griggs is going to go the line for the 3-point play. What a sequence as Glenwood got the steal. Good hustle by Anna Grace Griggs to get back up, put up the shot, and draw the foul. Glenwood up by 1 with a chance to be up by 2. No good, but good hustle, but it's going to go back to Edgewood. Oh, it's going to stay here with Glenwood. That was a very close play. The refs made the call. It's going to stay here with Glenwood. Griggs was trying to get her own rebound off the miss, but Edgewood touched it last. Here's Davis. Back out to Slocum. Thought about the 3. Driving the lane. Slocum draws the foul. Olivia Slocum is going to go to the line for 2. Olivia Slocum in yesterday's game against Southland Academy, she had a pretty good game. She had 13 points, shot some big threes, and a 62-40 win over Southland. As Glenwood trying to advance to the championship game tomorrow at 6 o'clock. That first foul shot is no good. Glenwood, Edgewood, winner will take on Lee Scott Academy. Slocum makes 1 of 2. 2-point game. 4:55 left to go until halftime. Timeout on the floor. We'll take 1, 2. Don't go anywhere. It's day 2 of the Border Wars. It's the championship semifinal between Glenwood and Edgewood. We'll be right back here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Back at the campus of Glenwood, at the pit. We're here in the championship bracket between the Glenwood Lady Gators and the Edgewood Lady Wildcats. Richard Holdridge, Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Glenwood with a 2-point lead. Right now the leading scorer for Edgewood is Lindsey Brown with 15 points. Anna Grace Griggs has got 9 for Glenwood. And it's Lindsey Brown with the ball in her hands over to Lexi Smith. Thought about it. Finds Brown in the corner for 3. Just off the top of the iron, trying to get their own rebound, but Kayla Davis just rips it away from Avery White. She's like, I'm taking that rebound. Palmore driving the lane coast to coast. No good. trying to fight for it. Oh, Kayla Davis comes up with it. Quick double team. Griggs, mid-range jumper, off the glass, no good. To Kayla Davis with another rebound. Davis puts up a shot, should have got fouled, but Lindsey Brown comes up with it. Now she's going to run the floor. Doesn't have the numbers, but it doesn't really matter because she's just going to drive the lane anyway. But Anna Grace Griggs with the rebound. Slocum, Griggs, good passing. Crisco in the corner, no good. Rebounded, fighting for it, jump ball. Good job by Avery White to get a hand on the rebound from Haley Palmore. Offensive possession going back to Edgewood. Lexi Smith, Brown. Nice pass in the corner. Avery White, no good. To Kayla Davis, pulls down another rebound. Avery White's going to tip it away. To Kayla Davis, she has got to have at least 7 or 8 rebounds. I mean, she has really been doing it in the post, just working for everything. She's got 4 points, but she really has been a defensive presence and a rim protector for the Lady Gators. Palmore, a little fake. Crisco fires a 3, and she's got the bucket. Clara Crisco, largest lead of the game for the Lady Gators. Brown, Smith. Quick defense by Palmore. Smith tries to get around her. Smith gets the foul. It is going to be a non-shooting foul. It'll stay on the floor. So Glenwood, they've done a good job on Brown. I mean, she's got her points, but the offense has really been centered around Brown. But, you know, you play a lot of minutes, and plus you're playing in back-to-back games. Could wear on you, but Brown is just one of those all-around players. They've already scouted her. They've watched the footage with them against Calvary, and so they know what type of offensive player Lindsey Brown is. And then Madison Martin, the post player that had 20 points against Calvary. Oh, Crisco, another 3-point shot. This place would have erupted if she would have got that one. Brown going coast to coast, doesn't have the numbers. Off. Oh, what are we calling? Or what are we calling? Offensive foul? Offensive foul on Lindsey Brown. Brown was trying to go coast to coast. Good job by Glenwood planting the feet. This place erupted. Not sure what the call was, but the refs calling offensive foul. Oh, that's blocked. Lexi Smith. Palmore gets it right back. Over to Slocum. Oh, and we had White almost get it. Slocum, Euro step. Rattles in and out. Martin fighting for it. Oh, they just want it bad. They're trying to just get the possession, but Edgewood gets the possession. Hey, today's officials, Laith Alwyn, Terrence Edwards, and Norman DeRamos. Just wanted to give them a shout out here on the broadcast, Georgia Alabama Sports Live. I know we've had officials pretty much all day today. Oh, you got the student section over at Glenwood chanting defense. Brown, guarded by Crisco, trying to drive the baseline. That was a pass that was intended, and it is right to Palmore. Going coast to coast, puts up a shot, and it falls through. Haley Palmore has got 6 points. Glenwood a 7-point lead. Oh, nice pass. What a block by Olivia Slocum. Palmore trying to pass. Griggs. Blocked, fouled. Avery White with the block. Griggs is going to the line to shoot 2. Glenwood has been on fire in this game as all the momentum has shifted to the Lady Gators. The home crowd is pumped up, especially that student section that's been erupting every time they get a big basket or a big stop. It seemed like Edgewood was controlling this game. They were running the offense through Lindsey Brown, who's got 15 points. But Glenwood patiently, as Griggs makes the first, they patiently have an 8-point lead. Largest lead of the game for Glenwood. Emerson White coming into the game for the Lady Gators. Bobby Taylor, Brazil. Kayla Davis is going to take a seat. A fresh rotation for Coach Purdue as Griggs makes them both. She's got 11. Leading scorer for Glenwood. It's a 9-point lead for the Lady Gators. Winner plays Lee Scott in the championship tomorrow at 6. Brown back over to Smith. Glenwood in the zone. Got to worry about the shooter, Avery White, but she stepped out of bounds. If White would have caught that cleanly, I think that she would have shot a three because she was wide open. Timeout on the floor. We'll take one, too. 1:31 left to go until halftime. Glenwood leading Edgewood 31-22 right here. Day 2 of the Border Wars Championship semifinal here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Welcome back to Glenwood. It's Border Wars Day 2. We've had a fun day of calling basketball. It started with Lee Scott Academy beating Calvary Christian earlier today at 10:30. We also called the Calvary girls last second just win by Southland Academy. It was just an incredible game. Oh, that was almost stolen by Brown. Brown is just hustling at every single play, trying to do it all for her team, like we saw yesterday against Calvary Christian. Palmore trying to run the offense. Bounce pass, Emerson White into Griggs. Griggs back to Palmore, mid-range jumper off the glass, no good. That's going to be rebounded by White. White is just, hey, I want to get that rebound. We got a foul. It's going the other way. As both teams are in the bonus, that was a 5th team foul. Avery White is going to go to the line for 2. It's a little physical contact. And one thing I noticed is the officials, I mean, this is a championship game. I mean, a lot's at stake. I mean, they're calling a fair game. They're doing a good job calling the fouls as Avery White makes the first. But one thing I noticed in consolation brackets is they call less fouls. Those games have actually been going a little bit faster. White makes them both. White. Back over to Crisco. Pass to Palmore. Palmore to Brazil. She got it stolen by Martin. Here comes Brown. Fast break. 2-on-2. Brown goes to the line. She's going to shoot 2. It's 31-24. Edgewood trying to get back into this game. They're going to run that offense through Lindsey Brown. Well, Madison Martin, so she had 20 points yesterday against Calvary. She's been rather quiet. She's only had 4 points, but they haven't had to rely on her. They've really been running this offense through Lindsey Brown as she misses the first. Olivia Slocum checking back into the game for Glenwood as Anna Grace Griggs takes a breather. Coming up next, we got the Glenwood boys taking on Southland Academy. Brown makes the second. Slocum, Palmore now has it. They're going for the full court press. That pass was just too far for Crisco. 41 seconds left to go. Edgewood down by 6. Can cut into this Glenwood lead. Glenwood had no problem against Southland Academy 62-40 yesterday. Edgewood defeated Calvary Christian by 10. That pass, that was intended for Elizabeth Ellis. That's going to go back to Glenwood with 26 seconds left to go. Please like and subscribe to our Facebook channel. Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well, as we're going to be live streaming games throughout 2024. We have just live streamed a bunch of games, including 2 days of the Border Wars, plan to be live streaming tomorrow, the championship games. Palmore over to Crisco, fires a three, and she's got the bucket. Clara Crisco's second three-pointer of the game. It's back to a 9-point lead for Glenwood. 4 seconds, three. Brown fires a three. No good. That is the buzzer. The first half comes to an end. Glenwood comes out strong and has a 9-point lead over Edgewood Academy. As we would like to thank our sponsors, Double Coverage, Sports Visions, State Farm, Carroll Purdue, Terry Johnson Agency, Mike and Ed's Barbecue, Superior Roofing, Columbus State University, Rocket and Greg Ballard, Happy Hour Bar and Grill, Master Wall Incorporated, and Behringer Construction. We'll be back with the second half right here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. It's Glenwood 34, Edgewood 25, here at the Border Wars Championship semifinal game. We'll be right back. We're at halftime here in the championship semifinal between the Glenwood Lady Gators and the Edgewood Lady Wildcats. Glenwood leading 34-25. Leading scorer for Glenwood is Anna Grace Griggs, has got 11 points. Leading scorer for Edgewood is Lindsey Brown. She's got 16 points. This is a rematch of the opener where Glenwood defeated Edgewood 56-30, but I was actually told that Lindsey Brown did not play in the game. So you had a big win by Glenwood, and it really, you can't really judge a team in November. There's just a lot of basketball. The season is long. Of course, you have the transition because you have multi-sport players. They're making that transition from volleyball over to basketball. But it's 34-25. Glenwood is going to have the ball. Olivia Slocum going to inbounds it. And away we go with the second half here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Please like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We will be broadcasting the championship games for the Border Wars tomorrow, 6 and 7:30. Winner of this game will take on Lee Scott in the championship game. Crisco, Brazil puts up a shot, no good. That's just ripped by Avery White, and here comes Lindsey Brown. Thought about the three. Alexi Smith in the corner, no good. Fighting for the rebound and diving over Elizabeth Ellis, trying to dive it to save it. She ends up hitting the snack table. And then it's going back to Glenwood. Palmore, bounce pass, Slocum. Wide open is Bobby Taylor Brazil, but here comes Takayla Davis ripping down that offensive rebound. She'll go the line for two. Give Takayla Davis her 8th rebound. She is close to getting double-digit rebounds, and that's pretty much what she can do in the post is get those rebounds. Also as a lethal scorer, just about a double-double every time. The leading scorer from last year's team. Davis misses the first. One of the leaders on this team, a senior, along with Anna Grace Griggs. Olivia Slocum misses the second, but that is going to be trying to save it is Edgewood, and it goes back to Glenwood. You had Elizabeth Ellis diving for the loose ball. Haley Palmore will inbounds it. Looking for Brazil. Puts up a mid-range jumper, no good. Rebounded by Ellis. Ellis over to the floor general, Lindsey Brown, running the point. She is the slasher type of player that can drive the bucket but also can shoot a big three, and she does so right there, and it's to the front of the iron but no good. And rebounded by Madison Martin. She tries to put up a shot but she loses it, but Glenwood knocked it out of bounds. Brown will inbounds it. Edgewood down by 9, largest lead of the game for Glenwood. Trying to drive the lane is Lexi Smith, rebounded by Brazil, just pulling it down. Slocum. Long pass right to Crisco, and it's blocked by Ellis. Crisco goes to the line for two. And I can't believe that Lindsey Brown did not tip that pass. It went underneath her arms. It was a perfect pass from Olivia Slocum to Clara Crisco, and now she will go to the line for two to try to extend this Glenwood lead here in the championship semifinals for the Border Wars. This is the first year that we have had a 3-day tournament where we will have a championship winner and a consolation bracket winner. It's been a lot of fun calling these games. We've been here since 10:30. Well, we took a little bit of a break. The next game we called was at 3, the Calvary Girls. That was an incredible game that went down to the wire. That shot is no good. Brown, she's just going to fire a 3. That was contested by Slocum, but a good shot. Bank shot, Lindsey Brown. I thought that was good defense by Olivia Slocum, but that's ice water in your veins when you can knock down a big shot like that. Oh, there's Bobby Taylor Brazil answering back with a 2 of her own. 36-28, 6:29 left to go. Lindsey Brown with 19 points. She recorded her 2,000th career point yesterday against Calvary Christian. There's Avery White for three, no good. Rebounded by Slocum. We're going to get a foul. That is the third team foul on Edgewood with 6:13 left to go. Two more fouls, and Glenwood's going to be in the bonus. So my broadcast partner, Thrift Behringer, he is on the road as we do have a doubleheader tonight. As Pacelli is in the Lee County tournament against Oconee out of Orlando, Florida in the semifinals. They got a big win over Doherty last night. Bobby Taylor Brazil, 2 points. She's got 9. Glenwood a 10-point lead. Brown thought about the three. Smith, mid-range jumper. Front of the iron, no good. Rebounded by Takayla Davis, her 9th rebound. There's Palmore, no good. Rebounded by Brown. Brown's just going to run the floor. She does not have the numbers, but she does have an open lane. Brown goes up, off the glass, and in. There's nothing you can do about that. Lindsey Brown is just instant offense. You can try to slow her down, but that is hard to do because she's one of the best players in the AISA. All the way to the rack is Lexi Smith, and Coach Purdue wants to call a timeout. Edgewood on a little bit of a run here, a 4-0 run. They're down by 6, 5:13 left to go. Thank you to our sponsors, Double Coverage, Sports Vision, State Farm, Carroll Purdue, Terry Johnson Agency, Mike and Ed's Barbecue, Superior Roofing, Columbus State University, Rocket and Greg Ballard, Happy Hour Bar and Grill, Master Well Incorporated, and Behringer Construction. Don't forget, we've got the Glenwood boys coming up against the Raiders of Southland Academy. That's happening at approximately 7:30. Actually, we're right on schedule to tip off at 7:30. And a big shout out to Jadarian Holloway's dad as he's trying to promote Jadarian Holloway, his swag clothing line. You can get all apparel at swag4prez.com. And gave Thrift and I some nice T-shirts. Coach Purdue was wearing one of the T-shirts on the Coach's Show. Big shout out to Jadarian Holloway, the player, the nickname Swag. Palmore over to Slocum. Long pass over to Crisco, inside to Brazil. Bobby Taylor, big shot by Martin. Shot block. Madison Martin, a huge block. Brown driving the floor, going coast to coast. Offensive foul, Lindsey Brown. As Brown is on the floor, Takayla Davis helping her up. Good sportsmanship. Lindsey Brown is just having herself a game. 21 points. One of the top players in the AISA, averaging 25 points a game. Crisco thought about the three. Brazil, baseline. Back out to Palmore. There's Crisco, and that's stolen by Martin. Martin just intercepted that pass. Here's Lexi Smith. Puts up a shot. No good. Fighting for that rebound. Palmore rips it down. Here comes Palmore driving the floor coast to coast. They have the numbers. Brazil shot off the glass and in. Bobby Taylor Brazil with 11 points. Back to an 8-point lead for Glenwood. The chant of defense. Brown, pass stolen to Kayla Davis. Brown was looking for her teammate in the corner. Palmore inside to Davis. Davis being guarded by Martin. Back out to Palmore, no good. That's going to be rebounded by Smith. And stolen by Takayla Davis. She puts it up and in. That was some miscommunication there on the Edgewood player. Timeout on the floor. Glenwood with a 10-point lead. 3:39 left to go here in the third. We'll take a timeout too as you're watching the championship semifinal Border Wars here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Welcome back to the campus of Glenwood. Border Wars, Day 2 on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Richard Holdridge here on the broadcast. Glad to be joining you this Thursday evening as we try to wrap up 2023. Happy holidays to everybody as we try to ring 2024 out on a good note, wrapping up 2023. Excited about what's in store in 2024. Lindsey Brown with the ball, got 21 points. She's had a great game. Lexi Smith over to Brown. Brown could shoot it from there, but it's that defense of Glenwood that's going to contest those shots. Over in the corner, wide open, shot no good. Edgewood, that was number 33, trying to get her number. I do remember that we had Addison Heisel is her name. Takayla Davis rushes to it, inbounds it. Glenwood up by 10. I'm going to get another timeout. So Edgewood 16-2 on the year. They are led by their head coach, Brad Starks, the defending AISA champions for 2A. And actually was Edgewood's 5th team foul. So Palmore is going to go all the way to the other side of the court and shoot these 2 foul shots. Glenwood with a chance with their largest lead of the game. They had no problem yesterday against Southland Academy. They won the game 62-40. And they are trying to advance to the championship game in the Border Wars where they will face Lee Scott Academy if they can win. But Edgewood, they're down by 10. Edgewood is trying to do the same. That first foul shot is missed. Edgewood defeated Calvary Christian yesterday by 10 points, 59-49. Both foul shots missed, but Takayla Davis rips her 9th rebound. Johnson over to Slocum for 3. No good. It's going to be rebounded by White. Edgewood down by 10. Smith thought about the 3, driving the lane, puts up a little floater. Oh, that's a pass to Martin. That's a good job getting it to Madison Martin. Martin's got to get going. She's got 6 points. It's an 8-point lead for Glenwood. She had 20 points yesterday against Calvary. Oh, a bounce pass to Bobby Taylor Brazil, no good. Ripped down by Madison Martin. Just a post player and just enjoying the matchup with Madison Martin, Takayla Davis. Bobby Taylor Brazil's had a great game as well. There's Brown for a 3. She gets her own rebound. That hits the front of the iron. Brown's going to drive the lane, go up and in. Lindsey Brown with 23 points. Edgewood on a 4-0 run. 42-36. Takayla Davis. Over to Slocum. Thought about the 3, driving the lane. A little finger roll, no good. Brazil with the offensive rebound, ripping it down, and we're going to get a jump ball. 42-36. It's going back to Edgewood. Largest lead of the game for Glenwood was 10 points. Edgewood came out with an early 5-0 lead. And Glenwood in that second quarter just took over, and they were able to pull away and close out that first half. But Edgewood doing a good job staying in it. Brown, nice pass over to Avery White for 3. Rattles in and out, rebounded by Davis. That's 10 rebounds for Takayla Davis. And then a quick foul on Avery White. And that is going to put Mimi Johnson at the line as Edgewood is in the bonus. That has got to be frustrated for Coach Sparks and the Edgewood Lady Wildcats. So Hardaway defeated McIntosh today in the LaGrange Toyota Christmas Classic. Lamel Mims with 18 points. Great job. Makai Benton and Antonio Dorch both with 13. Very excited to see what Hardaway does this season with Coach Mills and that senior-led team. We saw them in the Muskogee Christmas Classic as they finished third. Mimi Johnson gets 1 of 2. We also got Carver playing in the LaGrange Toyota Classic, trying to get a score update on that game. Brown with the ball. She's got 23 points. It's 43-36. Brown passes over to Smith. Smith driving the lane, puts up a shot. It's up and in. That was a contested shot, but Lexi Smith gets it to fall. It's a 5-point lead for Glenwood. Palmore takes it across the timeline, looking for the screen. He's got the double team, got it tipped. Avery White with a steal. And then a foul on Mimi Johnson. Frustrated foul, as it was just only the first team foul for Glenwood. But Edgewood gets the ball back. They're down by 5. Coach Purdue is going to have a rotation of players. Bobby Taylor Brazil back into the game. Anna Grace Griggs. You got Mimi Johnson, Haley Palmore, and Olivia Slocum. That is the 5 out on the floor for Coach Purdue as Johnson hits a Lindsey Brown hits a big 3. Lindsey Brown has got 26 points. 2-point lead for Glenwood. Palmore back over to Johnson. Griggs looking for Palmore. Olivia Slocum for 3, and she answers back with a big 3. Olivia Slocum makes it a 5-point lead as Glenwood exchanges a 3-pointer. Oh, there's Brown. She thought about the 3. Avery White. The defense collapses. We're getting a foul. Foul on the floor. It's only the second team foul for Glenwood. But how about Lindsey Brown? She's got 26 of the 41 points for Edgewood. The next scorer is Madison Martin with 6, Alexi Smith with 6. Lindsey Brown averages 25 points a game. She is a little bit over her scoring average on the season. Brown looking for a teammate. Trying to find Martin, but she gives it over to Smith. Smith going to drive the lane, and that's going to be a foul on Slocum. It's only the third team foul, but 7 seconds left to go. I mean, the foul's reset after the quarter. Glenwood wants to try to get the stop. You don't want to give momentum to Edgewood going into that fourth quarter. Glenwood up by 5. 6. Brown shoots a long 3. No good. Rebounded by Martin. No good. That rattled in and out, and that is how the third quarter ends as Glenwood leads Edgewood 46-41. Edgewood was down by 10. They cut it to 5. Thank you so much to our sponsors, Double Coverage, Sports Visions, State Farm, Carroll Purdue, Terry Johnson Agency, Mike and Ed's Barbecue, Superior Roofing, Columbus State University, Rocket and Greg Ballard, Happy Hour Bar and Grill, Master Wall Incorporated, and Behringer Construction. One more quarter to go here. Glenwood, Edgewood. It is the championship semifinals for the Border Wars. And we'll be right back with the fourth quarter here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We are back here at the campus of Glenwood. One more quarter to go. 8 minutes to decide who is going to play Lee Scott Academy in the Border Wars Championship game tomorrow night at 6. Glenwood leading Edgewood 46-41. Glenwood with the ball. Leading scorer for Glenwood is Anna Grace Griggs and Bobby Taylor Brazil, both with 11 points. Griggs over to Crisco. Crisco pass to Slocum. Slocum Pass inside to Kayla Davis. Oh, she puts up a shot, and it rattles in, and count the bucket. Kayla Davis will go to the line for the and one. Huge bucket. It just rattled all around the rim, and it fouled through. Back to a 7-point lead for Glenwood. Glenwood has been doing a good job responding every time Edgewood gets a big basket. Oh, and she makes the and one. Kayla Davis with 9 points, 10 rebounds, 1 point away from a double-double. Here comes Smith driving the lane. Alexi Smith, no good. Martin Griggs fighting for that rebound. It's going to be a jump ball. We got a timeout here on the floor. We'll take one too. 7:35 left to go. Glenwood leading Edgewood 49-41 here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Welcome back to the campus of Glenwood here in Smith Station, Alabama. Day two, keep saying game two. Day two of the Border Wars. We've had a fun day here calling games for the Border Wars on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. There's Griggs, and White fighting for the ball. Another jump ball. This time it goes back to Glenwood. Up by 8, 7:32 left to go. Lindsey Brown with 26 points for Edgewood. Palmore over to Griggs. Back to Palmore. Palmore, quick double team, spin move, trying to get rid of it. Over to Slocum. Slocum, lob pass to Kayla Davis. And we're going to get an offensive foul. She's trying to set her feet. A good job by Madison Martin to plant her feet to draw the offensive foul. Edgewood trying to get back into this game. But they've been putting the ball in Lindsey Brown's hands. Alexi Smith as well. Elizabeth Ellis puts up a wild shot, and there's a big block, but they're going to call a foul on Kayla Davis as Avery White going up for the shot, and Davis right there swatting it away, but the refs are going to call a foul. 7:02 left to go. Glenwood just trying to hold on to this lead so they can advance to face their region rival, Lee Scott Academy, in the championship. Remember, no shot clock in Alabama. Time is just what they are concerned about right now. Coach Purdue is going to try to give a fresh rotation as Bobby Taylor Brazil checks into the game for Kayla Davis. She has had just an incredible game, 9 points, 10 rebounds, doing it all in the post. Misses both, but Martin with the big rebound and puts it up and in. Madison Martin's got 8 points. It's 49-43. Slocum, that got tipped, but it's in the hands of Anna Grace Griggs. Griggs driving the baseline, puts up a shot. She'll draw the foul. Anna Grace Griggs will go to the line to try to extend this Glenwood lead. They're up by 6, 6:45 left to go here in this game. A packed gymnasium. We got fans from Glenwood. We got fans from Edgewood making that hour-and-a-half trip here, and it's just been incredible. Don't forget, we got the Glenwood boys and Southland coming up next on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Anna Grace Griggs misses the first. Griggs Makes one of two. She's got 12 points, back to a 7-point lead for Glenwood. They got to get a defensive stop and try to just milk as much clock as possible. And that's going to be a foul just about every time. Bobby Taylor-Brazil was trying to go for the steal. She gets hit with a foul. It's the third team foul for Glenwood. You got to watch those fouls, especially when you have 6:31 left to go here in the quarter. You don't want to put Edgewood at the bonus because it stops the clock, gives them momentum. Oh, almost stolen by Slocum. Smith has it. Smith trying to steal it, but right to Ellis. Ellis, that's stolen by Olivia Slocum. Slocum going coast to coast, puts up a shot, no good, but Palmore is right there for the rebound and the putback. Haley Palmore, a 9-point lead. Madison Martin. This is where you got to extend your lead. Lindsey Brown is on the bench. She's taking a breather. She has played a lot of minutes, especially in yesterday's game against Calvary Christian and in today's game. She's had an incredible night, 26 points. How long is Lindsey Brown going to be on the bench for Coach Starks? Well, that's right, to Taylor-Brazil. She got the double team, bounce pass. That's going to be taken by Palmore. Palmore driving the lane, bounce pass. Griggs off the glass and in. Anna Grace Griggs with 14 points. It's an 11-point lead for Glenwood. 5:40 left to go. Smith getting the screen from Martin. Back to Smith. Smith trying to split the defenders, putting up a shot. She'll go to the line for two. Well, that stops the clock for Edgewood. It also gives Lindsey Brown a breather because I believe at the next dead ball, she's going back in the game. She has been instant offense for Edgewood. You got Elizabeth Ellis checking into the game for Edgewood. 54-43. All right, so I was told, and that's why I appreciate the fans interacting with me up here. I was told that Lindsey Brown fouled out. So Edgewood is going to go the entire game, 5:23 left to go. And they're not going to have their leading scorer, Lindsey Brown, who averages 25 points a game. She fouls out with 26 points. I want to thank the fan sitting right next to me for giving me that information. Misses the second. Palmore over to Crisco. Back out, inside. Griggs, shot, good. Anna Grace Griggs with 16 points. Largest lead of the game for Glenwood. 5 minutes left to go. Can Edgewood mount a comeback? Madison Martin is really, the offense has got to go through her, but they got to get some threes. You got Martin in the post. Brazil and Takayla Davis has done a great job on her. Alexi Smith shoots a three. That's no good. Palmore with the rebound. And she's got her teammate Olivia Slocum all alone in the basket. She misses the point-blank range layup. Smith with a long baseball pass, stolen by Griggs. Griggs to Brazil. Brazil puts up a shot, no good. Slocum, no good. They're fighting for it. Who wants it? You got number 4, Emerson Body, coming into the game, and then you got Elizabeth Ellis checking in for her. So the starters, Lexi Smith. You got Madison Martin, Avery White, Elizabeth Ellis, and then the number 33, which is Addison Heisel, the sophomore. That is your starting five for Edgewood. Martin puts up a shot, no good. She'll go to the line for two. 4 minutes left to go. Glenwood leading Edgewood 56-43. Winner will play Lee Scott Academy in the championship game. tomorrow. 6 o'clock, you can catch that game here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We've got the boys championship at 7:30. So get ready for some championship basketball tomorrow night as Madison Martin makes the first. Martin misses the second. Pulling down that rebound is Crisco, but that's going to be a jump ball as Avery White got her hand in it. But it'll be Glenwood ball. Timeout on the floor. We'll take 1-2. 3:58 left to go here in this game. Glenwood over Edgewood 56-44 here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Welcome back to Border Wars, day 2 here at the campus of Glenwood. The Glenwood Lady Gators leading Edgewood 56-44, 3:58 left to go. Edgewood's leading scorer, Lindsey Brown, fouled out with 26 points. And Glenwood is trying to put a stamp on this game and advance to the championship, but they got 4 minutes to do it. Over to Johnson. Can Glenwood close out this game? Does Edgewood have anything left to try to come back? Down by 12. Crisco steps up, no good. Rebounded by Crisco. Bounce pass to Brazil, fighting for it, and it's going to stay here with Glenwood. That was off of Avery White. Other leading scorers for Edgewood, Madison Martin with 9, Lexi Smith with 6. Over to Brazil. She's got 11. Brazil partially blocked by White. Into the hands of Madison Martin. Edgewood down by 12. They've got to get something going offensively. As a Lexi Smith, let her shoot it. She's been able to shoot a couple of threes. She gets called for the double dribble. Back to Glenwood. 3:13 left to go. Glenwood just wants to milk this clock and get out of here with the victory. They don't have to rush any shots. No shot clock in Alabama. Palmore, bounce pass to Crisco, swings it over to Johnson. Got Edgewood in the zone. Almost stolen by White. Crisco staying with it, and she travels. Edgewood gets it back. Down by 12, 2:45 left to go here in this championship semifinal for the Border Wars. Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Richard Holdridge here on the broadcast. Smith, no good. Rebounded by Martin. Actually, Welcome back here to Glenwood. 56-44, 2:25 left to go here in this game. Glenwood with the ball. Anna Grace Griggs, leading scorer for the Lady Gators with 16 points. Followed by Bobby Taylor Brazil, who's got 11. Takayla Davis with 9. Haley Palmore with 8. Glenwood trying to advance to the championship game. Border Wars, first year that they've had a championship and a consolation. Last year was an invitational. There's Griggs, up and good. Anna Grace Griggs with 18 points, 58-44. Two minutes left to go. Lexi Smith fires a three and makes it. Lexi Smith has got 9. It's 58-47. Time is not on Edgewood's side. They need to get some threes, and they got to get some stops. Griggs trying to get around White. Griggs up and in. You need a big basket. Anna Grace Griggs coming in clutch for Glenwood. 13-point lead for the Lady Gators. 1:26 left to go. Griggs double dribble going back to Glenwood. They had a great day of action here in the Border Wars. It started with Lee Scott Academy defeating Calvary Christian. 10:30 this morning. Then we called the Calvary girls Southland Academy at 3. Emerson White has got the ball. Over to Griggs. Slocum, top of the key, back to White. They can just work this clock. Slocum falls on the floor, and it's going to be a foul in Edgewood. Less than a minute to go, 55 seconds. Coach Purdue is going to get his bench players in there to give him some minutes. His normal rotation has really been playing hard in this game. Edgewood has had opportunities to keep it close. As Slocum fires a three, no good, rebounded by Ellis. But the big story was Lindsey Brown fouling out with 26 points. That was really the difference in the game because it really changed the way Edgewood tries to get buckets. They haven't been able to overcome that. We do have a foul, a shooting foul on Glenwood with 39 seconds left to go. It might be too little too late. Glenwood with a 13-point lead, but Avery White going to the line. She misses the first. White makes one of two. It's 60-48. Here comes Palmore, splitting the defenders. Palmore, bounce pass. Claire Graham just rips it down. Here's to Kayla Davis, no good. That's rebounded by White. Back over to Lexi Smith, 24 seconds left to go. And that's a foul on White. Lexi Smith is going to go to the line for 2. Trying to make it a 10-point lead for Glenwood. Edgewood is going to play in the third-place game against Abbeville Christian. Glenwood, Lee Scott, tomorrow at 6. 22 seconds left to go, and Glenwood's up by 12. And then we see a bunch of bench players. They hear it from the crowd. They have had an outstanding game. We have Ella Cooper coming into the game. We got Presley Gigolo, Claire Graham, and Claire Hargrove into the game. A big shout out to her dad, Wes Hargrove. No, he's happy to see her in the game. The sophomore, 5'5" guard. She's got the ball. Over to Emerson White. 8 seconds. 6. There's a shot attempt by Ella Cooper. No good. Rebounded by Martin, and that will do it. The Glenwood Lady Gators advance to the championship in the Border Wars against Lee Scott Academy. We can catch that game 6 o'clock tomorrow night on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Edgewood will play Abbeville Christian in the third place game. What an effort by Anna Grace Griggs, leading all scorers for Glenwood with 20 points. The big story of the game was Lindsey Brown fouling out with 26 points. Thought that was the difference of the game. Glenwood was able to pull away. Bobby Taylor Brazil and Takayla Davis were huge in the post. A great job on Madison Martin, who's only held to 9 points. And we'll see you tomorrow. Glenwood, Lee Scott. We want to thank our sponsors one last time here. Double Coverage, Sports Vision, State Farm, Carroll Purdue, Terry Johnson Agency, Mike and Ed's Barbecue, Superior Roofing, Columbus State University, Rocket and Greg Ballard, Happy Hour Bar and Grill, Master Wall Incorporated, and Behringer Construction. Coming up next, we've got the Glenwood Gators and the Raiders from Southland Academy, as that will be the final game, day 2 of the Border Wars, coming up next here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Good evening, high school basketball fans, and welcome to the final game of Day 2 of the Border Wars. It has been an incredible day of basketball. This is the championship semifinal on the boys bracket. The Southland Academy Raiders taking on the Glenwood Gators. Southland Academy defeated Edgewood yesterday 55-30 to advance to the championship bracket. The Glenwood Gators, which, by the way, Wes Hargrove announcing the starting lineups, doing a great job with that. Glenwood got a 2-point win over Abbeville Christian in what a fantastic finish yesterday. You caught that game on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Here's the starting lineups for the Southland Academy Raiders coming into this game 2-1 on the season. You got Mac McDonald, Banks Simmons, Perry Usher, Jamarcus Walker, and Will Goodwin. For the Glenwood Gators, you got Levi Pender, Mason McCrane, Jadarian Holloway, Camden White, and Tyler Sykes. The winner will take on Deerfield Windsor in the championship game tomorrow at 7:30. You can catch that game right here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Richard Holdridge here on the broadcast. My partner, Thrift Behringer, is over down in Lee County calling the Pacelli game as they are taking on Oconee from Florida. They're in the semifinals. We've had great high school basketball action all day, and that is won by Glenwood as Tyler Sykes wins the tip. Ball is in the hands of Jadarian Holloway, the freshman, also known as Swag. Back to Holloway. Back over to White, who had a big game yesterday against Abbeville Christian. Down by 4, shot a big 3. Also had a big go-ahead bucket inside to Tyler Sykes, and he lost the ball. A turnover. Southland Academy tipped away, but right back into the hands of Mac McMichael. McMichael from the corner. Swings it over. Simmons. Walker. Guarded by Holloway. Walker dribbling, taking his time. McMichael back to Walker. Usher. Usher fires a long three-pointer. That's off the mark. Rebounded by Sykes. Over to Jadarian Holloway. Southland Academy out of the GIAA Class 3, 21-5 last year. Lost to Dominican Christian in the quarterfinals. They are currently 2-1 on the season. Southland Academy out of Americus, Georgia. One of those Georgia teams here in the Border Wars has just got to get used to not having a shot clock. Back over Levi Pender, Sykes. Sykes double team, White in the corner, driving the baseline. Cam White looking for Pender. Over to Sykes, thought about the 3. A long pass to Jadarian Holloway, who shoots a 3, and they had a foot out of bounds. No score here in the first quarter. Southland Academy Raiders wearing the black and gold uniforms. They kind of look like Vanderbilt University. Glenwood in their traditional orange and white. Where is the home team? That's a foul on Southland Academy. It's going to go back to Glenwood. As I saw some of the coaches from Deerfield Windsor as they are trying to scout out this game. They know they're facing the winner of this game. They had a lot of people here just watching some good basketball. Have some people here all day. Over to Sykes in the corner. We started at 10:30. Lee Scott Academy defeated Calvary Christian. Tyler Sykes for 3, no good. Big rebound by Will Goodwin. Right to Jamarcus Walker all the way to the rack, no good. Can't get the shot, but they try to get their own rebound, and Will Goodwin trying to save it, and it's an over and back, going back to Glenwood. Both teams defensively trying to figure each other out. Scoreless contest with 5:38 left to go. Jadarian Holloway with the ball. He had 12 points yesterday in a win over Abbeville Christian. Camden White over to Mason McCrane. McCrane off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Goodwin. Here comes Walker pushing it up the floor. McMichael Usher fires it, no good. Trying to get the rebound with Simmons. Coming up with it is Tyler Sykes. Here comes Jadarian Holloway going coast to coast. Little finger roll, no good. Pulling down the rebound is Goodwin. Running the core is Walker. Bounce pass, too much for Perry Usher. It's going to go out of bounds. Back to Glenwood. A defensive battle here in the first 3 minutes of this contest. Levi Pender, he's a shooter from behind the arc. Camden White. Got it. Good job by Southland just defending the three. White thought about it. Tyler Sykes inside, off the glass, up and in. You're not going to be able to stop that when Tyler Sykes has the ball in the post. Takes a couple steps, puts it off the glass. Glenwood is up 2-0. Top of the key, Walker being guarded by Holloway. Back over to Simmons. Walker back to Perry. Usher fires a three. No good. Long rebound for Camden White. White is just going to run the floor. White puts up a shot off the glass. It rattles in and good. Camden White. Glenwood up 4-0. Here against the GIAA school, a 3A school in Americus, Georgia, about an hour away from Columbus in Sumter County. There's a bounce pass. Perry Usher all the way to the rack and good. First 2 points of the game for the Raiders. And it is 4-2. Southland has not played a busy schedule. They're 2-1 on the season. They've just not had a lot of games. That's an easy bucket by Mason McCrane. 6-2. We're going to get a timeout by Coach Douglas. 3:35 left to go here in the first. We would like to thank our sponsors here on the broadcast. Double coverage, Sports Visions. You know, Thrift just had a show today. DJ Jones was in Miami for the Orange Bowl, Georgia-Florida State. Had some great guests, including Coach Corey Black of Pacelli, Coach Purdue, and the AD, Coach Steve Smith of Calvary, and WRBL's Jack Patterson. We got State Farm, Carol Purdue, Terry Johnson Agency, Mike and Ed's Barbecue. Chase Cook does a great job. Great barbecue. Love their pulled pork plate. Superior Roofing out of Auburn. We have Columbus State University Athletic Director Jay Sparks and the Columbus State Cougars. Rocket with Greg Ballard. Happy Hour Bar and Grill. Thrift Behringer and I have done some Georgia Alabama Sports Live shows there. Masterwall Incorporated and Behringer Construction. 6-2 is your score here in the championship semifinal at the Border War. Perry Usher, there's an alley-oop. Love the alley-oop, but Banks Simmons, he gets fouled. He'll go to the line for two. Perry Usher just trying to lob that into Banks Simmons. This is the winner's bracket. Southland Academy defeated Edgewood last night. That was the final game last night. We signed off on the broadcast for Glenwood and Abbeville. But Southland defeats Edgewood. Edgewood loses to Abbeville Christian earlier today in the consolation bracket. Lamont Burton checking into the game. Rebounded by Banks Simmons, going up, and he'll go back to the line for two as he didn't make one of two foul shots. It is 6-3, 3:20 left to go. Simmons makes the first. And Simmons makes them both. It is 6-5, Glenwood on top. There's Jadarian Holloway driving all the way to the rack and in. Jadarian Holloway gets on the board. It's 8-5, Glenwood. Balanced scoring, Mason McCrane, Jadarian Holloway, White, and Sykes all with 2 points. Levi Pender is the only player without a basket. But that's the balanced scoring that Coach Purdue has. This is a deep team as Banks Simmons, no good, rebounded by Mason McCrane. 3-point lead for Glenwood. Jadarian Holloway, known as Swag, passes it over to White. Pender, that is tipped away. Diving for the loose ball is Jamarcus Walker, and we're going to get another foul. So earlier today, the Glenwood girls advanced to the championship. They defeated Edgewood 60-49. They will play Lee Scott Academy at 6 o'clock tomorrow for the Border Wars Championship in the girls bracket. Winner of this game will take on Deerfield Windsor out of Albany, Georgia. There's a bounce pass, trying to save it. And that is too far for Southland to save it. Will Goodwin was trying to just give it up. And it's going to go back to the Gators with a 3-point lead. 2:23 left to go here in the first. Georgia Alabama Sports Live, please like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're hoping to close out 2023 on a high note. Can't wait for 2024 and what's in store for all the broadcasts. River Baker checking into the game. There's Lamont Burton driving the post, spin move, back out to Baker. Baker, quick double team. Cam White driving the lane, puts up a shot, up and in. Camden White makes it 10-5, and Lamont Burton slow getting up. A lot of great athletes on this Glenwood Gators basketball team. We live stream Glenwood football games, so we're familiar with Camden White and Lamont Burton. They have had a outstanding impact on the Glenwood Gators football team. Talked to Coach Nelson earlier today. I know he's excited about Glenwood football in 2024 as Glenwood makes that transition to the AHSAA. This will be the final year in the AISA for Glenwood. Got some new players checking into the game for Southland Academy. That's number 20, Peyton Gilbert. Back out. Nice give and go for Jamarcus Walker, but it comes up short. Here comes Glenwood. Holloway. Dribbling. Pass over to Baker. Swinging down to White. White. Long pass to Holloway across the court. Holloway trying to split the defenders, draws the foul. Jadarian Holloway, only a freshman, played at Calvary Christian last year. Coming over, playing at Glenwood, has just made an outstanding impact as the point guard for the Glenwood Gators. There's Mason McCrane, spin move, off the glass, up, and he will draw the foul. Glenwood was out without one of their key senior leaders, Griff Garner, as he has had an injury. He'll be out for a couple more weeks. Coach Perdue says it's a high ankle sprain, but he's hoping to be back, especially when Glenwood gets into region play. Mason McCrane makes the first. Glenwood's next game after the Border Wars is coming up right here at the pit. January 2nd against Autauga Academy. Trying to avenge that loss up at Autauga as McCrane misses the second, but Lamont Burton right there with the rebound. McCrane pulls down the offensive rebound, puts it off the glass and in. Count the basket. Mason McCrane going the line for the and-one. And you could just feel the intensity putting back that shot. Glenwood up 13-5. McCrane makes the and-one. He's got 6. It's a 9-point lead for Glenwood as we're going to get a sub coming in for the Gators. That's Braden Gooden checking into the game, the 5'8" senior. Walker, bounce pass, McMichael. Walker over to McMichael. Inside to Will Goodwin. Goodwin up and in. Count the basket. Will Goodwin will go the line for the 3-point play. He gets some high fives from his teammates. Trying to get the Southland Academy Raiders back into this game. Minute to go here in the first quarter. Goodwin makes it. 14-8. Glenwood on top. River Baker. Over to White. White looking for a teammate. Quick double team. Back to Baker. Baker to Burton. And Burton lost it. Goodwin with the steal all the way to Walker. Walker trying to go coast to coast, and he double dribbled. 14-8. Glenwood back with the basketball. As we'll try to get a score update on that Pacelli game. That is happening at Lee County. Burton gets it right back, and then he lost it. Goodwin with another steal. McMichael back over to Usher. Swings it over to Simmons. Simmons for three. No good. Rebounded by Gooden. Braden Gooden going to run the floor. He's going to reset the offense. Glenwood going to hold for the final shot. 13 seconds left to go. River Baker passes it to White. Top of the key. Splitting the defenders. White over to Gooden. And he traveled. 6 seconds left to go. Southland trying to close out this quarter. Down by 6. Walker, 4 seconds. Walker, Usher, fires a three. No good, and that is how the first quarter ends. Glenwood leading 14-8. Leading scorer for the Gators, Mason McCrane, with 6 points. We would like to thank our sponsors here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. This broadcast would not be possible without our sponsors. Double Coverage, Sports Visions, State Farm Carroll Purdue, Terry Johnson Agency, Mike and Ed's Barbecue, Superior Roofing, Columbus State University, Rocket with Greg Ballard, Happy Hour Bar and Grill, Master Wall Incorporated, and Behringer Construction. We'll be back with the start of the second quarter. 14-8, Glenwood leading Southland Academy right here. It is the Border Wars Championship semifinal here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Welcome back to the Border Wars. Start of the second quarter. Glenwood, Southland Academy. 14-8, Glenwood with the lead. Winner takes on Deerfield Windsor in the championship tomorrow at 7:30. Inside, Will Goodwin. Lost the handles, Walker. Walker back to Goodwin. Goodwin, underhand pass, gives it over to Banks Simmons. Simmons being guarded by White. Simmons driving the lane, up and in. As it was a contested shot by Mason McCrane, but Banks Simmons with the bucket. He's got 5 points for Southland Academy. It's 14-10. Here's White. White looking for Levi Pender. Sykes, double team. Pender fires a long three. No good. Tip back to Sykes. Sykes up. Jadarian Holloway is right there for the putback. Jadarian Holloway makes it 16-10. All the way to the other end is Mac McMichael, but he loses the handle too much on it. Here comes White. White over to Pender. Pender back to White, and it's between his legs. Turnover, it's going to go back to Southland. Southland Academy defeated Edgewood 55-30 yesterday to make it to the championship bracket against Glenwood, who defeated Abbeville Christian by 2. Earlier today, we had the Glenwood girls defeat Edgewood Academy to advance to their championship bracket against Lee Scott Academy. There's McMichael over to Perry Usher for three, and he hits it. Perry Usher with 5 points. It's a 3-point lead for Glenwood. Holloway takes it across the timeline. White back to Holloway. Swings it over to Pender. Pender, Camden White, back to Pender, swings it over to Tyler Sykes, inside to Mason McCrane, off the glass and in. You need a big bucket. You give it to Mason McCrane. He has been clutch. Last year, buzzer beater, Final Four against Lee Scott. They had another buzzer beater against Macon East, the defending AISA champions for 3A last year. An improbable championship run by Glenwood. Currently 10-5 on the year. Talked to Coach Purdue on the Coach's Show. It's still early, trying to figure out this team, just trying to get a good rotation before they get into region play. There's Pender. Pender, quick double team. Cam White fakes the three, gives it over to Holloway. Back over to Pender. Pender driving the lane, splitting the defenders. The pass that was intended for Mason McCrane, it's broken up and right to Walker. No good. He gets his own rebound. And there's the three-pointer by Perry Usher. In and out. Rebounded by McCrane. 18-13. Holloway, little floater, and the kiss, nothing but the bottom of the net. 20-13, timeout, Southland. We'll take one, too. 5:16 left to go here until halftime here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Welcome back to the pit, campus of Glenwood, Phoenix City, Smith Station, Alabama, rather. Right on the border, Summerfield Road. Pretty much know where Glenwood is. 20-13 is your score. Southland Academy out of Americus, Georgia. Playing in the Border Wars. We got a GIAA school from Georgia, an AISA school from Alabama. Oh, a block by Mason McCrane. Get that out of here. Mason McCrane says, get that out of there. Well, but he did not get in the face, but definitely you could tell that was a big block by Mason McCrane. There's Simmons. There's a three-pointer for Perry Usher. Front of the iron, no good. And another block by McCrane. McCrane with another block. 3 blocks in the last 20 seconds. Glenwood comes up with it. Holloway, White fakes the 3. Pass inside to Mason McCrane. Puts it up, no good. Gets his rebound, puts it up, no good. And Will Goodwin with the rebound, but we're going to get a foul. Mason McCrane with extra energy, playing with passion. Talked to him earlier today. He was helping Coach Purdue out with the Border Wars. He was PA announcing for one of the games. So we got a future broadcaster that could be possibly on the horizon as well. No, but they've done a great job just putting on this Border Wars. And Glenwood's been a good host. We've had a lot of fun. There's the reverse layup by Perry Usher. He's got 7 points. It's 20-15. Over to Pinder. Levi Pinder back over to Holloway. Swings it over to White. Camden White looking for a teammate. We got Thet Morris checking into the game for Glenwood. And that is stolen by Goodwin. Goodwin gives it over to McMichael. Rushes the floor. And Cam White with a big block. That physical presence of Cam White. You see it on the gridiron. You see it on the basketball court. Oh, and you had 2 Southland players collide with each other. I'm not sure. They're going to call a foul on Glenwood, but that was just a moving screen. They're going to call the foul on Glenwood. That's their second team foul. 3:40 left to go until halftime. Peyton Gilbert checking into the game for Southland. McMichael, three-pointer, no good. Levi Pinder with a rebound. Here comes Pinder pushing the floor. Over to White. White sets his feet. Gets a 3, rebounded by Jadarian Holloway, puts it off the glass and up and in. Big offensive rebound for Jadarian Holloway putting up the shot. He's got 8 points. It's 22-15. Here's good. That's Perry Usher. Back over to Simmons. Southland Academy does not have a deep bench. I see 3 players on the bench. So Coach Douglas with a rotation and another block by Mason McCrane. That's 4. 4 blocks for Mason McCrane. Having a block party out there here at Glenwood. It's 22-15. Possession will stay with Southland. Southland Academy out of Americus, Georgia, about an hour away from Columbus, and Sumter County. The public school there is Sumter County, and we'll end up seeing them in the same region with all the Columbus schools next year. Goodwin, nice move by Goodwin, but he cannot finish. He was able to drive to the basket, but the ball just would not go, and Jadarian Holloway over to White. Little one-handed finger roll draws the foul. Camden White came up clutch yesterday against Abbeville Christian. Down by 4, he shot a 3 to cut it to 2, and then he got the go-ahead basket. Glenwood was down by 9 with 4 minutes to go in the game against Abbeville Christian. The margin of error here in the Border Wars could be the difference of playing in the consolation bracket and playing in the winners bracket. We already saw Deerfield-Windsor upset Lee Scott Academy in the first round of the Border Wars. Lee Scott Academy is playing in the championship bracket, in the consolation bracket, as Camden White makes the second. He's got 6. Lee Scott Academy defeated Calvary Christian earlier today, 10-30. That was the first game we did on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Here's Peyton Gilbert. Gilbert over to Simmons. Stolen. Cam White with it. Driving the lane. Puts up the shot. Rebounded by Mason McCrane. Puts it off the glass and in. Mason McCrane giving himself 10 points. He's got 4 blocks. He's got 7 rebounds. He is doing it all here for Coach Purdue and the Gators. 26-15. That is just tipped away from Thet Morris. Here comes Jadarian Holloway running the floor. Holloway puts up a shot. No good. Thet Morris with a rebound. Up. He'll get fouled. He'll go to the line for 2. 1:52 left to go here until halftime. Glenwood with an 11-point lead. The winner will take on Deerfield-Windsor in the championship game. It will take place 7:30 tomorrow on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. It's Thet Morris going to the line, misses the first. Another one of those football players for Coach Nelson and the Glenwood Gators football team. He was one of the key defensive players, along with Lamont Burton and Cam White. I also have several baseball players, including Mason McCrane, Griff Gardner, Tyler Sykes was one of the starting pitchers for Coach Fanning and the Glenwood Gators baseball team. Mac McMichael, he's scoreless. He's yet to get on the scoreboard. Good defense by Thet Morris, but it's going to be a foul as Bank Simmons trying to drive the lane. 1:40 left to go. Be a non-shooting foul. He was on the floor. Perry Usher, bounce pass to Simmons. Swings it out to Gilbert. There's Perry Usher for 3, rattles in and out. That was a good shot. But Jadarian Holloway with it. He does not have the numbers. Holloway, and it doesn't matter. Jadarian Holloway is just going to take it all the way to the rack. It doesn't matter if there are 3 defenders back. He's just going to take it all the way to the rack. Mac McMichael for 3. And Holloway rips down a rebound. The guy they call Swag over to McCrane. Offensive foul. And McCrane knows it. He's saying something to himself. He knows it. It's going to be 4 team fouls on Glenwood. 1:12 left to go. Will Goodwin checks back into the game. Southland trying to get some size in there. They are down the largest deficit of the game, down by 13 to the Glenwood Gators. Back over to Goodwin. Bounce pass to Walker. McMichael, Goodwin, baseline, back to Walker. Guarded by Holloway. Oh, Cam White is right in the face of Walker. Good defense, and we're going to get a foul on the floor. Looks like it's going to be a foul on Glenwood as Goodwin hits the floor. I don't believe that's 5 team fouls. That puts Southland in the bonus. Taking these foul shots is number 23, Jamarcus Walker. The Southland Academy Raiders, a GIAA school, a 3A school, went 21-5 last year, lost in the quarterfinals to Dominican Christian. As Walker gets ready to shoot these foul shots. 56 seconds left to go. Glenwood up 28-15. Got a score update. Oconee is leading Pacelli 16-13 in the second quarter. Thrift Behringer is there on the campus of Lee County down in Leesburg, Georgia. So we got a doubleheader tonight on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Chris Gates, Thrift Behringer down in Lee County. 28-15, foul shot is missed. Back over to Holloway, and we're going to get a foul. That's going to be a foul on Southland. We'd like to thank everybody watching us on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Please like our Facebook page and subscribe to the YouTube channel, as this is Border Wars, the championship semifinal. Glenwood, Southland Academy. It started with the first round yesterday. Private schools from Georgia, private schools from Alabama. As this has been, so far, a two-day event. We'll have all-day coverage. Well, we'll have a bunch of place games starting at 10:30. Calvary Christian is taking on Edgewood. We'll have that game at Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Then we'll have the Consolation Championship bracket for the boys and the girls, third-place games, and championship games starting at 6 o'clock. Tyler Sykes swings it over to Holloway. Holloway looking for a teammate, River Baker. Tyler Sykes, 37 seconds. Holloway lost the handle. It's going back to Southland, 35 seconds left to go here until halftime. Jamarcus Walker takes it across the timeline, being guarded by White. Walker looking for Goodwin, top of the key, back to White. Goodwin trying to set up a screen, and it's going to be a foul call on Camden White, and Walker's going to go back to the line with 24 seconds left to go here until halftime. Well, Southland is going to be in the bonus from here on out, but that's one of those, you're trying to go for the steal, but you don't want to put Walker on the line because that stops the clock, and Southland down by 13. They can cut it to 11. He makes the first. And he makes the second. So it's 28-17, 23 seconds left to go. Holloway can hold for the final shot. Swings it over to Holloway. Sykes, 12 seconds. River Baker inside to Thet Morris. There's Cam White for three. No good. And trying to rip down that rebound. But there's Jadarius Holloway with the rebound, but his foot was on the line. 2 seconds left to go. It's going back to Southland, who's 2-1 on the season. They did defeat Southwest Georgia Academy, one of their wins. They did lose to Marion County. There's a shot, no good, and that is the first half. Glenwood, a defensive effort on Southland Academy. They lead 28-17, led by Mason McCrane's 10 points and Jadarian Holloway's 10 points. Leading scorer for Southland Academy is Perry Usher with 7. We would like to thank our sponsors, Double Coverage, Sports Visions, State Farm, Carroll Purdue, Terry Johnson Agency, Mike and Ed's Barbecue, Superior Roofing, Columbus State University, Rocket with Greg Ballard, Happy Hour Bar and Grill, Master Wall Incorporated, and Behringer Construction. We'll be back with the second half. It's the championship semifinals here for the Border Wars here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Start of the second half here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Glenwood leading Southland Academy 28-17. Mason McCrane and Jadarian Holloway, your leading scorers for the Glenwood Gators, both with 10. Camden White has got 6. Tyler Sykes with 2. Leading scorer for Southland is Perry Usher with 7. Banks Simmons with 5. Will Goodman's got 3. Jamarcus Walker with 2. Earlier today, Lee Scott Academy defeated Calvary Christian in the consolation bracket. Lee Scott will advance to the consolation championship where they will face Abbeville Christian. Calvary will take on Edgewood Academy in the 7th place game. That will be tomorrow at 10:30. Then you have the Calvary girls. They lost a heartbreaker to Southland Academy in the consolation bracket. Southland Academy will advance in the Constellation Championship. Calvary Christian, they have finished 7th place here in the Border Wars. As Jadarian Holloway wastes no time driving to the basket, gets his 12th point, and that is how Glenwood starts the second half. Off to a fast start is their point guard that they call Swag. I thought it was a little push-out by Walker. There's a pass over to McMichael, a block by who else? But Mason McCrane, 5 blocks, count them, 5. Levi Pender gets a big 3. And Glenwood just coming out on fire here in the second half. Back over to Walker. Holloway. Back over to McMichael. Walker setting up a screen. Perry Usher. Back over to Simmons. Simmons puts up a shot. We got a foul. That was a late call, but that will be a foul. And Tyler Sykes is saying, my bad. He drew the foul. He knows it. We got Banks Simmons go to the line for 2. 7:02 left to go here in the third. We've already played a minute here in the second half. Banks Simmons makes the first foul shot. We've had a busy day of high school basketball as Pacelli is down in Lee County. We have a doubleheader on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Banks Simmons misses the shot. Jadarian Holloway with a big 3 in the corner. 15 points. Glenwood up 36-18. 8-1 run here in the second half. There's a rebound by Mason McCrane. Back over to Holloway. The freshman known as Swag. He's got the ball. Back over to White. Holloway swings it around for Levi Pender with another 3. Second three-pointer of the game, all in the second half. 39-18. Glenwood coming out on fire in this second half. 11-1 run. That's how you respond, trying to advance to the championship game where the winner will face Deerfield Windsor out of Albany, Georgia. Perry Usher fires a 3. No good. Rebounded by Goodwin. Goodwin pass to Usher. Usher gets around Tyler Sykes, but Sykes gets the rebound, gives it over to Holloway. Holloway's pushing the floor. Over to White. White driving the baseline, goes up. No good. He draws a foul. Camden White, and he gets a hug from Tyler Sykes. Really, the teammate, the camaraderie. Really, these Glenwood Gators are really having a fun time here at the Border Wars. They've really been put to work. Coach Purdue has had them working the Gatorade bottles and running the scoreboard and PA announcing. As they've been here all day, just some of them just sitting back and just watching some great basketball. White misses them both. Goodwin rips down that rebound. There's a pass to McMichael, who's been held scoreless. There's a three-point shot from the corner. Perry Usher misses it. White with the rebound. Here comes Glenwood on a fast break. Holloway, Euro step, back to McCrane, draws a foul. And McCrane going to the line for 2. It's Glenwood trying to put away Southland Academy to advance to the championship. 7:30 tomorrow night. in the first year of a championship bracket and a consolation bracket for the Border Wars. Last year, Thrift Behringer and I did this tournament, and it was an invitational. You had 2 days of basketball. As McCrane misses the first. Great to be back here on the campus of Glenwood. Border Wars Day 2. It's been a fun day. Been a long day. We started at 10:30 this morning. Then we took a long break until 3. McCrane misses them both, but that shot will not count. We had the Lee Scott girls advancing to the championship as they defeated Abbeville Christian. And then we had Deerfield Windsor defeating Autauga Academy. That was the 1:30 game. Came back early. Saw a little bit of that game. And then we called the Calvary Southland Academy girls. That was a great game. Went down to the wire. Calvary Christian just came up so close. Goodwin, Banks Simmons, baseline, guarded by McCrane. Simmons trying to pass it to a teammate. Perry Usher is right there, rebounded by McCrane. McCrane just taking that rebound down with authority. Holloway over to Sykes, 3 from the top of the key. No good, rebounded by Goodwin. Sykes likes to shoot from the behind the arc. If he gets an opportunity, he's going to. McCrane almost got another block, but looked like he did foul Jamarcus Walker, and Walker's going to go to the line for 2. Mason McCrane already with 5 blocks in this game, showing his presence on the defense as Glenwood is up 39-18. Walker misses the first. This has been an outstanding defensive effort by Glenwood, as Southland Academy only has 18. Thet Morris coming into the game. Coach Purdue can try to get a fresh rotation of bodies, as Glenwood does have depth. That's the strength they have compared to the Southland Academy team that, looking at the bench, they've only got 3 players on the bench, so they're only dressing 8 for this game for Coach Kevin Douglas. Walker makes 1 of 2. It's a 20-point lead for Glenwood. 4:50 left to go here in the third. Walker waiting for the screen for Morris, or Holloway waiting for the screen for Morris, and falling to the floor. Camden White collides with Banks Simmons, and it's going to be an offensive foul. Banks Simmons plants the feet, draws the charge, and Southland gets the ball back. Another wet spot on the floor as the ref tries to get it, and we'll go ahead and reset the offense for the Raiders. Over to Usher. Perry Usher with 7 points. Usher with it. Walker. We also have Hauebauk coming into the game for Southland. I'm pronouncing that name right. Ben Hauebauk. 39-19. Holloway. Pass to Thet Morris, and a big block by Walker. But Walker did draw the foul. Thet Morris going to the line for 2. Please like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Richard Holdridge here, Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Thrift Behringer down at Lee County as Pacelli is taking on Oconee out of Orlando, Florida in the semifinals of their tournament. We've got doubleheader action here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. A score update. It is Pacelli leading by 2 with 3:31 left to go in the third. That's going to be a technical. Thet Morris is going to go to the line for 2. Morris makes the first. It's 40-19 Glenwood. Morris makes them both. Largest lead of the game for the Glenwood Gators. Winner will advance to face Deerfield Windsor. He actually misses the third, so he had a double technical, so he's still at the line shooting another set of technicals. He makes 3 out of 4. It's 42-19. Hears it from the crowd. Got the student section known as the Bleacher Creatures here supporting the Glenwood Gators. Glenwood fans. There's Jadarian Holloway for 3. No good. Trying to save it with Thet Morris, but that's already out of bounds. It's going to go back to Southland. Southland defeated Edgewood 55-30 yesterday in the nightcap. It was the final game of the day. Glenwood, a 2-point win over Abbeville Christian. In fact, they were down by 9 with 4 minutes left to go. Down by 9. They were down by 4, and Cam White hit a big 3 to cut it to 1. As you had Southland coming to the line, Perry Usher will go to the charity stripe. He makes the first. And he makes them both. It is 42-21. Holloway takes it across the timeline, being guarded by Walker. White thought about the 3, gives it over to Holloway, fires a long 3, and hits it! Jadarian Holloway, he's got 18 points. Largest lead of the game for Glenwood, 45-21. Perry Usher takes it across. Walker passes it over to Simmons, driving the lane. Simmons goes up, draws the foul. Thet Morris has got his hands up like, was that a foul? It was close. That is the 5th team foul with 3:23 left to go here in the third. And Banks Simmons, he's going to go to the line for 2. But it seems like Glenwood, it was close in that first half. Glenwood just came out on fire. They ran the floor. They got defensive stops. They got transition buckets. And rattles in and out. Good rebound by Will Goodwin. He puts up a shot. He'll go to the line for 2. Jadarian Holloway leading all scorers with 18 points. This really has been a great showing for Glenwood, both for the Lady Gators and the Gators so far in this game, trying to make it to the championship against Deerfield Windsor. The Lady Gators have already punched their ticket to the championship. They will face Lee Scott Academy tomorrow at 6 as they defeated Edgewood Academy earlier today. Goodwin makes 1 of 2, 45-23. Here's White. White driving the lane, left-handed finger roll, no good. It's going to be rebounded by Simmons. Simmons, a long pass. Oh, intercepted, almost saved by Jadarian Holloway, but that is off the glass and in by Perry Usher. He's got 11 points. It's 45-23. White trying to pass and trying to fight for it. Thet Morris just pulls it down. And then Walker tries to take it away from Holloway. He'll stay right here with Glenwood. 2:51 left to go here in the third as Lamont Burton checks into the game. The rim protector post player just trying to get physical there on the post. There's Holloway. This guard matchup between Jamarcus Walker and Holloway. Holloway splits the defenders, blocked by Goodwin. They're going to call a foul. Looks like it's going to be on Walker. Regardless, that's going to put Holloway to the line. Hopefully he can get his 20th point here. He's got 18 points. The freshman guard they call Swag. By the way, a big shout out to his dad. He let me know that you can get Swag for Prez gear. We got our t-shirts, swagforprez.com. Holloway misses the first, hits the front of the iron. Braden Gooden and River Baker checking in the game for Glenwood. Glenwood is up by 20. Right now, they just want to eat as much clock as possible. We still got a quarter to play after this. As Holloway makes the second. He's got 19. It's a 21-point lead for Glenwood. That is going to go back to the Gators. No shot clock in Alabama. It's something the Georgia schools have got to get used to. Southland Academy used to playing with a shot clock. Baker. Good screen by Burton. Baker shoots a long mid-range jumper. No good. Trying to save it as Howabuk. And puts it off the glass and in. What a good shot. It's 48-25. Walker driving the lane. Euro step. Puts it up. No good. Rebounded by Baker. River Baker pushing the lane. Braden Gooden driving the baseline. Euro step. And the reverse layup is up and in. And he hears it from the crowd. Braden Gooden makes it 50-25. 25-point lead for Glenwood. Usher. Perry Usher trying to split the defenders. There's a nice baseline jumper, and Lamont Burton was in his face. Usher makes the basket. He's got 13. Tyler Sykes. Over to Braden Gooden. Gooden fires a long two. No good. Bodies colliding. Lamont Burton, Perry Usher going for it, but we're going to get a foul. That is going to go the other way. It's going to be the bonus situation for Southland Academy. Perry Usher is going to go to the line. Got Gilbert checking in for the Raiders. Walker is going to sit. Usher misses the first. And he makes one or two. Perry Usher's got 14 points, leading scorer for the Raiders. It's 50-28. 1:23 left to go. Holloway takes it across the timeline. Looking for the screen, passes it over to Baker. Swings it over to Tyler Sykes. Holloway has it. Makes a move, top of the key. Glenwood trying to close out this third quarter. They had just an incredible third quarter. Braden Gooden back over to Burton. Swings it over to Holloway. Holloway trying to get his 21st point. Off the glass, no good. Here's a fast break. Ben Simmons, no good. And Braden Gooden trying to get a transition bucket. Southland getting back on defense. Less than a minute to go. Gooden over to Baker. Inside to Tyler Sykes. Off the glass and in. Tyler Sykes putting work down in the post. As Southland was trying to go for the steal. 25 seconds left to go here in the third. There's a long three by Perry Usher. Rattles in and out. Burton. Jadarian Holloway. 18 seconds. Puts up a shot. No good. Burton with the rebound. Puts it off the glass. No good. Burton trying to get the other rebound, and it's going to go out of bounds off Glenwood. And Southland will have it with 9.5 seconds left to go, down 52-28. Trying to hold for the final shot here in the third quarter. Bank Simmons, baseline, 4 seconds. Simmons, stolen by Burton. And that is how the third quarter ends. A strong third quarter by the Glenwood Gators. They lead Southland Academy 52-28. We would like to thank our sponsors, Double Coverage, Sports Visions, State Farm, Carroll Purdue, Terry Johnson Agency, Mike and Ed's Barbecue, Superior Roofing, Columbus State University, Rocket with Greg Ballard, Happy Hour Bar and Grill, Master Wall Incorporated, and Behringer Construction. We got one more quarter to go, day 2 of the Border Wars, this championship semifinal between the Glenwood Gators and the Southland Academy Raiders, right here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Welcome back to the campus of Glenwood. Here at the pit, day 2 of the Border Wars. It's been a fun day of basketball, closing out the day here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. There's Banks Simmons driving the lane. Pass it over to Perry Usher for 3. No good. Rebounded by Sykes. Trying to drive the lane, but Mason McCrane, he's already got 5 blocks. So that's really their second guess in that one. They're going to go ahead and just settle for those shots. There's Mason McCrane. There's a shot up. No good. He gets his own rebound. Mason McCrane puts it off the glass and draws the foul. Mason McCrane going to go to the line for 2. 52-28. Winner will take on Deerfield Windsor, a GIAA school in 3A out of Albany, Georgia. McCrane just didn't even hit the net, the rim on that first foul shot. Hopefully he'll get this next one. 52-28. And he misses both. That had better form on that. It just hits front of the iron. That could just be fatigue. Well, here comes Gilbert being guarded by Levi Pender, backup quarterback for the Glenwood football team. There's a 3-point shot by Haushabuk. No good. Jadarian Holloway with it. Just to say, Levi Pender's only a junior. He's probably going to be the starting quarterback for Glenwood next year as Tyler Sykes. 2 points. He's got 6 points. Banks Simmons with it, 54-28. Over to Mac McMichael for 3, no good. Mason McCrane with a rebound. He's got a double-double on the night. Holloway got the defender, Gilbert, just staring him down, Holloway trying to get a pass off. Pender, spin move off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Perry Usher. Usher is just going to try to go coast to coast. Usher, that's an easy bucket for Perry Usher. He's got 16 points. Might be too little too late for Southland Academy. They are down by 24 with less than 6 minutes to go in this game. As Glenwood trying to finish. Mason McCrane will go to the line for 2. He missed his 2 foul shots the last time he was at the line. I know he wants to try to redeem himself. And, you're up by 24, but you want to still work on your fundamentals. You want to try to just improve and get better throughout the season. They're not going to waste any time. They're going to take on Autauga Academy on January the 2nd. We know they play Lee Scott Academy twice, Springwood twice. They want to try to get better and continue to improve when they get into region play. As Mason McCrane makes the first. Glenwood 10-5 on the season, trying to pick up their 11th win. McCrane makes them both. They just got back from Knoxville, Tennessee. They were in a tournament right before Christmas up in Knoxville, Tennessee, taking on schools like Halls, Granger, Cosby. They did win 2 out of 3. But coming up in 2024, Autauga Academy on the 2nd of January. Their next home game is January the 5th against Macon East. They're taking on Stratford Academy on January the 6th. But Lee Scott, that's going to be January 11th. That shot is no good by Goodwin. 5:23 left to go. Holloway has it, 56-30. Holloway shoots a 3 and makes it. Jadarian Holloway, have yourself a night. 22 points for Swag, and just a great night for the freshman point guard. Goodwin back over to Simmons. Got a steal, almost trying to race for it, trying to track that one down. Is Banks Simmons. as we got Mac McMichael. Nice pass. Perry Usher up and in. Well, if they needed a big basket, Perry Usher has been the go-to guy for the Raiders. It's 59-32. 4:32 left to go here in this game. Southland Academy out of Americus, Georgia, about an hour away from Columbus in Sumter County. Jadarian Holiday, good offensive rebound, but Mason McCrane was the one who actually tipped that one. And Holloway will go to the line for two. He's got 22 points tonight. He's putting on a show. In the games that we have called here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, we called the two games against Calvary Christian. We called the game against Southern Prep. We've seen Jadarian Holloway put on a show in his first year as a Glenwood Gator, as he makes the first. And he is only a freshman. He's just going to continue to improve. I've been impressed with the way Glenwood has responded here in this championship bracket after trailing by 9 against Abbeville Christian. It looks like Abbeville Christian controlled that game yesterday, but Glenwood came all the way back and they got a 2-point victory to advance in the winner's bracket. 61-32, Jadarian Holloway with 24 points. You got Thet Morris and Lamont Burton coming into the game for size in the post. Braden Gooden. You got Camden White, River Baker. That's your starting five out there on the floor. For Southland, Perry Usher, Banks Simmons, McMichael. You also got number 21, Ben Howabook, and Chase Peterson, number 14. Perry Usher. Usher, mid-range jumper, rattles in. Perry Usher. He's had a good game, 20 points. For number 13, Perry Usher, 3:54 left to go. Braden Gooden with it. Pass, three-pointer. Cam White hits a big three-pointer. Camden White, who's had a quiet night tonight. I mean, he was the hero yesterday, getting a big three-pointer down by 4 and then a go-ahead bucket. He's got 9 points. 30-point lead for the Glenwood Gators. They can see it coming as Perry Usher just airmails it, goes back to Glenwood. And with 3:35 left to go, it looks like Glenwood just trying to run clock so they can advance to the championship game against Deerfield Windsor tomorrow, 7:30. There's Lamont Burton, mid-range jumper, and it's good. 32-point lead for the Glenwood Gators. Banks Simmons, back over to Perry Usher. Usher over to Simmons, top of the key, thought about the three. Perry Usher, they want to try to get a three here. Perry Usher's going to fire that three. No good. Top of the iron. Rebounded by, you got Dallas Crow checking into the game for the Glenwood Gators. Dallas Crow wearing number 4. Where's number 2? Starting quarterback for the Glenwood Gators. One of the top quarterbacks in the Tri-City area. River Baker for 3. River Baker. 69-34. We know Coach Purdue's got a deep bench. He's got some players that's really putting on a show today here at the Border Wars. We got McMichael, loses the handle, but it's going to stay here with Southland. And I'm just happy to see Dallas Crow in there. I know he was injured to start the year. He had that transition going from football to basketball. He's a dual threat quarterback for the Glenwood Gators football team. There's an alley-oop. Oh, a block by Thet Morris, but they're going to call a foul. Also got number 14 in there for Glenwood, John Calipolaris, the 6'4 sophomore. So your starting five out on the floor: Braden Gooden, Dallas Calipolaris, Dallas Crow, Thet Morris, and River Baker. Running clock, 1:29 left to go. Trying to wrap up day 2 of the Border Wars. We'll be back here tomorrow. 10:30 start time. Calvary Christian taking on Edgewood Academy. Rebounded by Braden Gooden. 1:13 left to go. Gooden pass to Baker. Baker over to Capillaris. Inside of Thetmores. Puts up a shot, and he'll be fouled. Go to the line for 2. Trying to get an update on that Pacelli game as Thrift Behringer is down at Lee County in Leesburg. 2 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter as Thet Morris makes the shot. Pacelli up 54-50 over Ocoee out of Orlando, Florida. Thet Morris makes them both. That is a back and forth game. We'll got the scoreboard watching over there. Here is Banks Simmons, and there's a foul on Braden Gooden. They got a running clock going. It's 71-35. It has been all Glenwood in this second half. It's Perry Usher. He's got 20 points for Southland. Simmons for 3, and he hits it. 71-38, but that will do it. Oh, that counts. Wow, what a shot by Braden Gooden. Glenwood wins it 74-38. That got the crowd going. Really, what a shot by Braden Gooden. Glenwood advances to the championship game where they will take on Deerfield Windsor tomorrow night, 7:30, right back here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We're going to go ahead and take a break, and we're going to have Coach Purdue, and we're going to close out this broadcast as we have had a fun day, day 2 of the Border Wars. Thank you so much. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the Border Wars. What a way to close out day 2 of the Border Wars. I'm here with the head basketball coach of the Glenwood Lady Gators and Gators, Coach Dusty Purdue. Coach, congratulations. Let's start with the Lady Gators. Got the win over Edgewood Academy, but let's talk about this game because their leading scorer, Brown, fouled out with 26 points, and I felt like the team
Is that how many she had?
She had 26 points, and she fouled out. I thought that they couldn't really find offense with Martin. I know that she was the post player that, you did a great job defensively. Takayla Davis and Bobby Taylor Brazil, but really what was the strategy to try to stop the leading scorers for Edgewood to get the win?
Well, we definitely know they're a two-headed monster as far as and you ever been to Americas? You ever been to Americas, dude?
Welcome back to the Border Wars. We apologize for that. We're going to go ahead and close it out. Stay tuned for tomorrow. We got Calvary Christian taking on Edgewood Academy. Start time 10:30. We got the Glenwood Lady Gators. I got Takayla Davis right over here too, but I won't get an interview with her. Say hi. Yeah, Lee Scott Academy Glenwood coming up at 6 o'clock. We're excited about that. The Glenwood Gators taking on Deerfield Windsor. This has been just a fun day. Day 2 of the Border Wars. We'll be here tomorrow wrapping up this tournament. I want to thank Toygar Isla as the producer. This would not be possible without Toygar behind the mic doing the production, everything that he does producer-wise. So for Toygar Isla, I'm Richard Holder saying so long from the pit here at Glenwood. Day 2 of the Border Wars in the books. We'll be back tomorrow for the championship games between the Glenwood Gators and the Lady Gators. We'll see you then. But we'll be here first thing tomorrow morning, Calvary Christian, 10:30 start time here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Have a great night, everybody.